Fear. Fear is holding you back. What's going to get you through the fear? This is something that you need to be really aware of, because you need to find your inner strength. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you find that so you can get to your next level. So let's go. Hi, my name's Joe and I'm here to inspire you every single day so you can live an inspired life as you go through your business, your job, your career. So today we're talking about fear, we're talking about the pain of fear, we're talking about those two things specifically. So let's look at pain. Pain is painful, right? Look up the definition of pain, you can look at it. There's physical pain and there's emotional pain. Okay, we know the physical pain, stub your toe, feel pain, right? I hate that because my feet really hurt sometimes. But that's the physical pain. These are things that we can manage, right? So if you're doing push-ups, there's physical pain around that, like the pain of pushing through, right? There's a mental side to that. So physical pain when you hurt yourself, and the mental side. Now the mental side is the one that holds us back. It holds us back in doing what we need to do. And so how do we actually look at pain? What is it about pain that we really push away from? So this is what I thought about. I've been thinking about this quite a bit, and I've just written a blog about pain and actually how it makes us grow. It's something we steer away from, right? We want to be comfortable. We want to not have pain. But the truth is, if we want to grow, we have to have pain, right? So at the minute I'm going through a big project, I'm doing a big project and it's painful. I've got to learn all these different things, putting all these different things into my schedule, working with leaders. It's painful, right? Because there's lots of different new things that I'm learning, there's new tools, there's new processes, we're bringing it all together. It's painful because I've got to learn these things. It's painful for me because it's pushing me outside my comfort zone, right? There's a belief I hold around pain, a belief I hold around how we respond to it. And I just watched a great video which included Tom Billion, and he says that we are the ultimate adaptation machines. In fact, he's talking about Darwin, and he's talking about, it's not the strongest that survive, but it's the most adaptive species that survive. And this is why we've survived, right? Because we're the most adaptive. And so if we can look at pain and know that actually pain is good, pain is going to teach us to say, hey, we need to get better, we need a certain skill. So pain usually comes around if we're doing something physical, we want to push through it. Okay, it's about what's the skill I can get to push through that, what's the skill I can cultivate in my mind that can push through it, what can I do? So when I do press ups, this is what I do. When I do press ups, I get to about 50 and I can start to feel that pain. And I know that I've got to go through that. I know that I've got to push through. So my last 10, I get to 60 up to 70. I make them slow on purpose so I can feel the pain and teach my brain to push through that. Because although my brain is saying to me, stop, you're not going to make it, I need to go, I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it. And this is where pain is a great teacher, because there is a point where you wouldn't push through, right? There is that point. We've got to recognise that. But there's this point where we know that there's like a restrictor. So imagine a car driving along and they're restricted, right? Because of pollution levels, whatever. There's a restriction on them, right? This is like our brains, and David Goggins talks about this as well. We have limits that we don't want to push through because our brain's telling us not to. We want to keep us safe. It's a safety mechanism. But we can recognise, we can control that, or where we can shift it. And there's been great examples of people pushing through barriers, Roger Bannister, 4 Minute Mile, all that sort of thing. Elon Musk pushing barriers, like running three companies, $1 billion companies, right? Tesla, SpaceX, and I think there's another one called, I don't know, sort of the tube one, I can't remember it. I think it's like 4 companies, but I don't know. And it's the boring companies, right? Huge. So there are different types of pain, right? And for this, it's about when you do that press up, when you're doing that thing, when you're doing that new thing, is knowing that actually this is a painful process, but it's okay. And I feel like, and I used to shy away from it, right? I used to go away from it because it was painful. But I recognise now that pain is growth. Pain equals growth, right? to push through that pain knows that you're going to get it. So how do people build muscles, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, they had to push up the rock, right? They have to go through that level. So they're not going to be fitter, they're not going to stay strong, they're not going to get stronger, not get better, right? Because they're not pushing through. And this is what this is always I've found inspiring, right? To go back to Inspiration Nation, this is inspiring things. This is the thing, can you make it? Can you do it? And look, you're not always going to win, you're going to fail, right? But what do you learn from the failure? The pain is the failure, right? There's pain equals failure, failure equals pain. But what it is, that pain and failure go hand in hand as a learning. And I've had a lot of pain in my life, failure in my life. I haven't succeeded at everything at all, but you learn from that, you double down. You learn that actually, if I really want this, I need to really learn the skills. So whatever you want, in terms of, whatever you want, there's going to be a certain level of pain. There's going to be a price you need to pay to get good at whatever it is. Now, we can learn any skill, provided we can put in the time, put in the effort to do and learn that skill. So for me, doing these videos, I'm learning a skill. I'm learning it, I'm doing it, I want to do it. So I've got my day job, right, and I'm doing this at the weekends, right? But I want to do this because one, I really want to serve you, I want this to help you. And two, it helps me increase my skill, and I'm sure you'll give me feedback on how you found this video. But pain is a great teacher, and we can have those different types of pain, and this is where a lot of people fall down. I pull back from the edge of a lot of things where I think, I don't want to feel uncomfortable, I'm not going to do it, I'm going to stay where I'm safe because I know I'm good at this, I can stay good at this, and I know I'll feel good, right? But that's where I stay in the comfort zone. That's where arrogance can come in. That's where I'm really great, yeah, look at me, right? That's really dangerous because you then stay where you are. You don't grow. You think you're great, but actually, and the great experience is you're not growing. You need to keep pushing. So I've had this in my leadership. I got to a certain level, very early days, in my 20s, I led a team. And yeah, I was just going through the motions, right? Just going through the motions and really just leading a team and just going through the everyday, not really thinking about how I can involve it. Then there came a point where I did evolve it and I started doing coaching and all that. And it was super painful. So I had to learn through things, try new things, failed a lot. But that's where I thought I needed to grow, right? And even then I still didn't stop learning, right? Because after that, the company went for a big change, and I got made redundant. So I had to go through a lot of pain. But what I recognised for all these things and going through like redundancy and painful things like that, and is recognising that you need to put in effort. You can't just expect to show up. And this is what I, when I failed a lot, is what I expect. I just think, I've been a team leader for a long time. I think I'll keep my job. All those types of things are dangerous. If you ever are in a situation like that where you need to still add value, so if you are in redundancy, you need to still add value. A lot of people just sit back and go, oh, well, I'm just going to just do what I do, or they say, well, why should I care, right? If your business is going down or you're working with a company that's going down, you need to put in the same amount of effort. You need to keep the habits. You need to actually double up. You should be doubling anyway. You should be double up, but you need to crush it even more, right? Because one, if you're working with a company, you want to help that business, it might recover. And two, you're doing it for you, right? Because if you do get redundant, you'll be in the habit of mindset of continuing to try, continuing to be better, right? And that's what you need. You need that tenacity. You need that warrior spirit. The warrior spirit. Now, I love this, and the warrior spirit's another thing that I've learned recently. Tony Robbins did a 5-day challenge. It was free. You could go to it, and I logged into it. I think it was the first day of it, or the second day. I can't quite remember. The second day, and he talked about some archetypes, and one of the archetypes is the warrior. What would your warrior do? What would a warrior do in painful situations? What would your warrior do? Where is your warrior? Mine is actually here. This is my warrior right here. And I really try to tap into it. And I took, there's another big magician, but I just took one away from this thing because I need to cultivate that. I just want to make sure I practice the one thing and trying to get good at it. So you can practice it. So where's your warrior? So when it's painful, where's your warrior? Where is the warrior? Where does it live? Where does your inside warrior live? For me, like, things inspire me, like the Rocky films and the underdog, people who struggle, but then they face adversity and push through. That's the warrior for me. So what I'm doing now, this big project I just mentioned earlier, videos, that I need to dial into that and go, okay, if I want to get through this and be the best version I possibly can, one, I can pull on resources to say, well, who's been there, who's done this before? Another good question I ask myself, if you are doing something difficult, look at other people that have done it. So for me on this big project, there's people who have done it. I'm going to dial into them, see how they've done it, and that's what you can do. So whatever you're trying new, find someone who's done it or has got a pathway. It may not be exactly what you'll follow, but you'll take bits from it, so it'll help you get to that place. And so really when you dial into these skills or when you're going through these things, is finding those things and then dialing down, really thinking about what is it I need to learn, putting things in order of priority, okay? Now there's a time matrix by Stephen Covey, urgent, not important, not important, not urgent. If you just type it into the internet, you'll see it. It's also in the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Look at it there. Again, making sure you put your big things in first, right? So what is it you need to do? What are the most important things you need to do to accomplish a skill, accomplish a project? You need to think about that. And this all comes with pain, right? Because it's going to be painful when you're learning. So going back to the pain analogy, so anything that you want to do, you've got to put in the time, you've got to pay the price, you've got to put things in order of importance. These are the things that you need to be doing when you lean into pain. When you feel that pain, if you're thinking this pain is teaching me something, I need to learn from it. Whether it's you need to do stop because it's too much, whether you need support, right? Whatever it is, you need to look at that and dial into it. So let's think about 3 things that we could start to do to start to put this into some sort of order. So when we want to use pain to our advantage. So number 1 is do some physical exercise and go a little bit more than you would. So I'll give the example of when I do my press ups. When I get to 60, my last up to 71 at the moment are the press ups. So practice doing that. Another thing I do is I do the cold showers every morning. So switching on the cold shower to teach our brain that we're going to do this. I know, body, you don't want to do it, but we're doing it and it makes you stronger. So practicing pushing through pain is a practice. Number 2, getting the big things in first. Go look up Stephen Covey's urgent, important matrix. Whatever's important, whatever you're doing now, whatever you want to be, whatever you want to do, who do you need to become, think about the big things. What do you need to do? So for me, example for me is, if I want to be doing InspirationNation, I've got to be doing it, and that's why I'm doing this the weekend. In the evenings, I'm practicing. I want to do these things and learn more about, YouTube, all this social media stuff. So that's the big things, right? And that's for you as well. What are the big things to you? And number 3, I would say, is review your steps. How are you getting on? Get some feedback. What's going on? How are you getting better? Are you getting better? If you're not, what's going on, and being honest. So I'd say review and be honest about where you are. Get feedback about where you are. And those 3 things will start to move you through your pain and to the other side of growth, right? Because we know that there's no growth in your comfort zone. You need to stretch, okay? You need to stretch that. So I hope this helped. Push through your pain, find your warrior, do those 3 tips, and let me know. I want to know in the comments below what your biggest learning point or your takeaway was from this video. Please put it in the comments below and I will respond to you right there. Thanks for watching. We've got some coaching services just for you. We've got 2 options. The first option is the social media option, where we can have a coaching session either with me or with Lee, and we'll put it on social media. That'll be free. And to get to that, you'll just go to InspirationNation.org.uk. And the second option is the private option, where you can just sign up. Again, go to InspirationNation.org.uk, sign up there. You've got a private session, you get 20 minutes free consultation, and that will stay between you and me, or you and Lee, depending on who you want to be coached by. So I really look forward to hearing from you. Go sign up with the form and I'll see you there. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd love you to check out my other videos right over here, because I think they'll really help you move through your life, your business, career. And also don't forget to subscribe here and hit the bell when it tells you when another video goes live. So thank you for watching Inspiration Nation, and this is Inspiration Nation, and I'll see you right there.